today I'm just going to be filming a review of these beds that I got from eBay. Now, I first found out about these beds from Charlotte from Sugar and Spice Piggies. I saw she posted a photo of, I believe it was Finlay, in his new bed on Instagram, and I asked her where it was from because it was so cute. It was this blue one, and she replied and said she was doing a YouTube video with it in, and that she'd put the link in the description box. So I was really excited when that video came up, and I had a look and she'd left the link, and so yeah, I ended up ordering two. Now when I went to look at the link that she'd put at the bottom of her video, it said that they were from China, so I was a bit dubious as to how well they would wash and like what size to get, because it said that they were suitable. They had 3 different sizes: small, medium and large, I think. I think they were the only sizes, and I didn't know which to get at first, because obviously they're from China. I don't know how accurate the sizings were, so I ended up getting a large. Now the large is meant to be suitable for rabbits, however I don't think that a rabbit would fit in these really, so that's one thing to bear in mind. Charlotte was really helpful though, and I asked her like how long it took for them to arrive, and she said about 2 weeks, and that's exactly how long these took to arrive. I also asked her how well they'd wash, but she just replied and said, you know, she hadn't washed them yet, but they look quite sturdy stitching, which I agree with. And I always thought, you know, if there was any case where a bit came undone or anything, I can stitch it up myself, so that wouldn't be too much of a problem. So yeah, I had a look at the link because I thought these were absolutely adorable. They have this little bow here, and these little fluffy ears, and then they have a little tail here, and inside they come with this little pad as well. So these were £7.39 each, and they were free delivery, and as I said, they were from China, so they did take longer to arrive. So yeah, Charlotte did mention to me when I was talking to her about them that the pad that comes with them is like it doesn't quite fit to the edges. It is a tiny bit on the small side. So she said she did use a pad of her own for her pigs to put in, just so that it doesn't get completely ruined and you can change the pads out. So I've done that here, in the fact that underneath each of these pads I've just put in, you can see this has an owl pad in. These are actually pads that I use for the IKEA doll bed that I have, and I've just folded them in half. So if any of you have an IKEA doll bed, that gives you sort of an idea of the size it is inside. So these are the pads that came with it. Now I can see what she means with these. They are a bit small. On the back they have this like silky material, and then on the front they just have this really soft like fleecy material. The only thing I find with these is that it has some kind of stuffing in, but it's kind of all bunched together in both of the pads that I got, which isn't too much of a problem. It just means that a lot of it's in the middle, and around the edges there isn't any in there. So I was thinking, and if any of you are able to sew and decided to order it, you could just unpick the stitching and cut a square of wadding and put it inside, sew it back up again, and then I was thinking I might just do a stitch around here to keep it in place, so that would work well as well. So that's the same case with this other one that came with this blue one, and it's a slightly different material on the back. It's not as shiny, but you can see it's really sort of thin here, and then it's quite squidgy here, so yeah, I think I might do the same with that one too. And again, inside I've just put an added extra pad in that I made myself. So with them being from China, like I said, I wasn't sure of the quality that they'd be when they arrived. I know Charlotte had them and they look really nice and that, but I wanted to sort of see for myself, because I know they can be a bit hit and miss with stuff like that. So yeah, the one thing I did notice as soon as they arrived is that this one is actually made out of a material that isn't quite as soft. It's hard to describe, but it's like a different batch. This one's not as soft and squishy, and inside it's more white, whereas I don't know if you can tell, but on this one it's a lot more fluffy and soft and plush. The only thing I do find though is, as you can see, this one is standing up really well. It's all nice and like it's quite thick, whereas this blue one, it's quite floppy, so it doesn't stand up very well by itself. But that's not really a problem. The opening stays nice and open. So I think it should be okay. Also, the fact that this blue one doesn't stand up as well by itself isn't really a problem, especially if you have a CNC cage, because on the back of each of these, if I turn them around, all of them have 3 little hooks on. So they have one here under the tail, and then 2 at either, one at either side, and there. So I think this will be really good. I don't think I'll be able to use these bottom two because of the carex on the bottom comes too high, so they won't reach. But this one, certainly I'll be able to clip onto the back and it'll just stop them from moving it about, especially the girls because they like to rearrange the cage. So that'll be handy. Then also I just wanted to point out on the bottom, it does have this like waterproof material. This one, on the blue one, this material is quite thick and it won't let any water get through, I don't think. And then on this one, it's slightly different. I don't think this is actually waterproof, but it has got, I don't know if you can see, I think you can see here, it's got like not non-stick, little grippy bits, so that'll stop it from moving about the cage so much, hopefully. Just another thing to bear in mind is, I don't know that you can tell on the camera, but this one, although they're both large sizes, although they are both supposed to be the same size, this one is actually quite a bit bigger than this one, which is perfectly fine. One piggy will fit in here perfectly, and same with this one. I'd say one piggy would fit in. There is just a bit of a difference in size, but that doesn't really bother me, like with all the other differences really. Although they are slightly different and it's not, I don't want to say it's not perfect, but you know, there are differences, not every single one is the same. I don't think it makes that much of it's not really a problem because, or for me anyway, because they still look really cute and it's not going to stop me from using them. They look pretty sturdy stitching wise, so I think they'll be fine in the wash. I might update you on a later video about that. As for the thickness of them and like the slightly different material used, that doesn't make too much of a difference either, because the piggies, they're both still really snuggly and the piggies are going to love them, I know. I've actually had Basil in this one already and he loved it, and so I'll probably insert some pictures here of the piggies in it. I've already taken some of the boys, but I've yet to put the girls in the pink one, so I will insert those here. So on the whole, if you're not bothered about slight differences or about the time it takes to arrive, it does take about 2 weeks. Well, I found it took 2 weeks, but it does sort of give them, they do sort of predict between 2 weeks and a month. So if you're not bothered about waiting for a bit, they are a really good price for what they are. You know, these are £7.39 each, which I think is amazing for what it is. You know, there's a lot of little details, and I love the bows and the little tail, and I think they're absolutely adorable. I've not really seen another bed like it, and I just wanted to thank you, thank Charlotte for letting me, giving me some more details about these, because I absolutely love them, and so do the piggies. So yeah, I would definitely recommend these if you're not bothered about waiting a bit longer for them. But if you are getting them for guinea pigs, I would make sure that you order the large size, because this large size is the biggest size they do, but I do think they will only fit in one pig, unless they are babies, and then you might fit a couple in, but yeah, so that's that. Overall, I am really pleased with these, and they definitely didn't take as long as I thought they would. I thought it would take the full month to arrive, so that's really good. So yeah, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Feel free to comment and subscribe. I'd really appreciate if any of you have any video requests, if you want to comment them down below. I will also put the link of the seller of these and the link of where you can buy them down in the description box, so check that out if you want to get some yourself. So yeah, I hope you all have a lovely day, and I shall see you again soon with a new video. Bye!